Hi, this is Jaya. In this video, we shall see the summary of Musée des Beaux Arts, a poem by W.H. Auden. Musée des Beaux Arts. This poem was inspired by a collection of Flemish artist Peter Bruegel's the Elder's paintings, which Auden saw in the Belgium's Royal Museum of Fine Arts. And he has written this poem in free verse, and the poem focuses on the nature of human suffering and perception, that is how they are received by others. Here a speaker is speaking to us, and the speaker is commenting on the painting of the old masters. He says that these paintings show that they have understood how human suffering happens, while at the same time, when one person is suffering, all the other people are just not bothered about his suffering and they are going about their daily business. He first describes one of the museum's paintings, and these details actually match Bruegel's The Census of at Bethlehem. And the speaker highlights the contrast between those awaiting the miraculous birth of Jesus, that is, a group of old people are waiting for Jesus to be born in this world, while at the same time we have a group of children who are indifferent to it, that is, they are not worried about who is going to be born and what is the miracle is going to do in this way. And then he goes on to the second painting, which is not named, but we can identify the painting. It is about the massacre of the innocent, depicts the dreadful martyrdom of early Christians, while at the same time, when these Christians were dying, we find horses and dogs continuing with their lives because they are not affected by this event. And the third is Bruegel's painting. It is a landscape with the fall of Icarus. And he says, in it, everything turns away from Icarus's fall. The boy's plunge wasn't an important failure to the plowman who is actually in his fields, and to the expensive delicate ship which is sailing. And we find the plowman continuing his work while the boy is falling, and the ship is sailing calmly on the sea. So when something is happening to one particular person, others are not at all affected and they continue with their daily chores, and that is what we see here. Now let's read the poem. About suffering, they were never wrong. That is, he tells about the great artist, the old masters, how well they understood its human position. He says these old masters in their painting, they beautifully bring out what is the human mind, how it takes place while someone else is eating or opening a window or just walking dully along. So, when something is happening to one person, all the others are continuing what they're doing. They may be eating, or they may be opening a window, or maybe they're just walking also. How, when the aged are reverently, passionately waiting for the miraculous birth, they always must be children who did not specially want it to happen, skating on a pond at the edge of the wood. See, he says about the aged people who believed in this miracle of the birth of the God's Son, and they were waiting passionately for it. At the same time, they were children who were not bothered about all that. They did not want it also, and they were skating on the pond at the edge of the wood. They never forgot that even the dreadful martyrdom must run its course anyhow in a corner, some untidy spot, where the dogs go on with their doggy life and the torturous horse scratches its innocent behind on a tree. And at the same time, when these people, that is the early Christians, were facing the martyrdom, they were all dying. In some corner, we can find the dogs doing their doggy life, or the horse scratching its back on a tree. In Bruegel's Icarus, for instance, how everything turns away quite leisurely from the disaster. In another painting, he has painted Icarus's fall. But at the same time, we find that everything around it, they are not bothered about what is happening. The plowman may have heard the splash, the forsaken cry, but for him it was not an important failure. That is, he says, maybe the plunge which the boy took would be heard by the plowman. He would have heard the splash, he would have even heard the cry. But according to him, that is not important for him. His plowing work, his farming only is important. The sun shone as it had to on the white eggs disappearing into the green water, and the expensive delicate ship that must have seen something amazing, a boy falling out of the sky, had some way to get to and sailed calmly on, and even the ship which was sailing in the sea would have definitely seen the boy falling in the sea. But it is not bothered about it. It has to reach another place, some way it has to go, and it continued its sail in a very calm way. It was not at all disturbed by what was happening around, what was happening to Icarus. And here ends the poem. If you have anything more to add on to what I've said, please write it in the comment box, like the video, share it with your friends, and if you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe and support. Thank you.